Hi, my name is Carmenita from Meerkat, and today I'll be talking to David O'Brien, who is the founder and CEO of Meerkat. Our topic for today is the trends of debt counselling and business. David, what, if any, trends are we currently seeing with clients coming on board for debt counselling?
Thanks, Carmenita. Nice to be here. Look, I think when debt counselling was envisaged in the National Credit Act in I think the late 90s, it was probably seen as a tool for, let's call it, the lower classes or the poor. But actually, increasingly what we're seeing now is that with the recent surge in inflation, so the cost of living, everything is getting more expensive, food, education, everything is going up, petrol, and then on top of that, a 5% increase in interest rates, we're increasingly seeing that the middle class are struggling, and they often don't know that there is relief available. The trend we are seeing is that where we're talking to people, their first thing is that they're surprised that there is such excellent relief available that they can literally breathe more easily. So we're generally seeing the middle class, people with cars, houses who purchased those in the last few years, where, you know, when you're buying a new house, you always kind of go to the edge of your budget so you can get the nice house that the wife wants. So those people who went to the edge of their budget, now with a 5% interest rate, are underwater. Again, some of them are reaching out for help. Some of them are struggling on, which I think is terrible, because actually if there's help available, it's always like, I always think it's like, you can go to the dentist, you have a choice to do it with the anesthetic or without the anesthetic. So debt review is almost the anesthetic for the stress you're feeling at the moment.
Thank you. Tell me, what do you think consumers can do to properly prepare for this year?
There was a view late last year that interest rates would begin to decrease this year. I read a lot of financial journals. The phrase that comes up most about inflation is sticky. So initially they thought it was going to be transient, now it's sticky. And sticky inflation is bad because it means it's here to stay. Mainly in the US and Europe, but they tend to feed inflation into here in South Africa. So if inflation is here to stay, that means that there's not going to be much relief from interest rates anytime soon, which means that basically interest rates are going to stay higher for longer, which means that you need to keep your belt tighter for longer, or, as I've said, if there's an avenue of distress, if you're over indebted, then debt counselling is obviously an opportunity that you can look at.
In terms of business, what are you most excited about for this year?
So obviously as a business, we're there to help people do more with their money. And in fact, times like this are perfect for our vision to come to reality. So we're helping a lot of consumers through their current problems, giving relief. I deal with a lot of our consumers directly, and you can actually sense the relief when you're talking to people. So for our business, it's obviously growth. We're expanding in our offices. Customers like what we do. We get referrals from customers to more customers. So for the Meerkat business, there's a lot of growth. And we've added in some new products. So we're going to be helping people who historically were flagged under debt review. We can now offer them a clearance certificate. And that has proved very popular. So the people can apply online at meerkat.coza. They just go for the clearance tab. They can do a very simple process, and we're issuing those certificates. And that can be life-changing for somebody. So they've been, let's call it, frozen out of the credit market for anywhere 7 to 10 years. And with literally a couple of weeks' effort and work on our side, we can then reinvigorate them and get them back into the credit market. That's exciting. And then on the, let's call it, the wider financial education front, we're going to launch a product for credit worthiness. So to help consumers really understand, why they didn't get a loan, which is often the case, or what they might need to do if they want to get a loan for a car or a house. Because that's often the question we hear. I want to buy a house in 5 years' time. How do I improve my score, etc.
And then lastly, can you describe some of the wins Meerkat experienced last year?
So the clearance certificate product was a big one for us. Literally hundreds of people have come through the door and have been cleared and are credit worthy again. I had one gentleman who was a business owner, and he needed a loan for his business, but because he was flagged in his personal capacity, he couldn't get that loan. We were able to clear him in a week, and then the relief and the excitement on the man's face to get the financing for his business. And as we know, business are the engine of the economy, so hopefully he can create some jobs with the loan he then got. So that was a big win for us. And then just the general growth. The business has gone from strength to strength. A lot of it because it's a tough economy. So very exciting.
Thank you all for joining and for listening to David answer some of our questions. It was quite interesting to hear about the trends of debt counselling and business. Thank you.
Thanks, Carmenita. Great to be here. Thank you.